learners. Good to see you once again. Yes, I hope you have not forgotten all that we have been learning all this while. Today we're going to study session 6. Okay? Can you remind me of some of the topics we have learned in the past? Okay. Yes, French alphabets. Okay, articles. Nouns and the agendas. All right. Bon. Très bien. Applaudissez. Thank you. It means you are following. All right. So we're going to look at pronouns today. Pronouns. We're going to look at the meaning, and other things. So what is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. It is likewise used to replace a noun. There are several types of pronoun and they will be treated as we move on. In this study session, you are going to be taught the various types of pronoun that exists in French and their usage. So what are the learning outcomes for study session 6? On the completion of this study session, you should be able to list the subject pronouns and use them in sentences in French. You are to state the direct object pronouns, explain its usage and use them in sentences. You are also to mention the indirect object pronouns, explain its usage and use them in sentences. You are to explain emphatic pronouns, its usage and use them to form sentences. You are requested to list the possessive pronouns and use them in sentences. Also, you are to know the usage, or to state the usage of on and e and use them in sentences. You are also expected to explain demonstrative pronouns, its usage, and form sentences with it. Now, let us begin this way. Pronouns are divided into two. We have subject pronouns and object pronouns. What is a subject pronoun? A subject pronoun is a word which performs the action expressed by the verb. Example, Titi is very beautiful. If I don't want to mention Titi, I can say she is very beautiful. Tunde, Shegun, and Dele are students. If I don't want to mention those names, I can refer to them as they. So I can say they are students. So we observe that the names are replaced with subject pronouns. Now, let's come to French. What are the subject pronouns? We have singular subject pronoun and we have a plural subject pronouns. Now, let's go and talk about singular subject pronoun first. They are Jo. Jo means I. Okay. Followed by tu. It's not tu. It's tu. Tu means you. We have il, meaning he or it. We have elle. Sometimes I do wonder if this is where the Yoruba people pick their elle, if they say elle lomonye, okay? So French, we talk about a language affinity, we always refer to that always. So elle, okay, elle. Don't pronounce it elle because I've explained to you now. Or I've shown you some things. So elle, okay? Elle means she or it. I run over it again. Jo, meaning I. Tu, meaning you. Il, meaning he or it. Elle, meaning she or it. Then on, meaning one, we, you, or they. Then the plural, we have a nous, meaning we. Vous, meaning you. Il, meaning they. Elle, meaning they. Now, what we're saying here is this. Il is they masculine when it refers exclusively to male. Il It has S, but you don't pronounce the S. You pronounce it il. L, when it refers exclusively to the females. L, though it has S, but the S is not pronounced. Now, what about the situation where you have both male and female together? In French, it will be referred to as il, because French believes that men dominate. Okay, men dominate, although grammatically they dominate, okay, not biologically. All right, so let me run over that again. Nous meaning we, vous meaning you, il meaning they, masculine, elle plural, they, feminine. Then where you have il plus elle, you refer to them as il. Example: Je voyage à Lagos. I am traveling to Lagos. Nous allons au marché. We are going to the market. J'ai deux frères. I have two brothers. J'y vais. I go there. I want you to take note of this. Je can become je with apostrophe in front of words beginning with a vowel or silent H. Okay? And the French word E too. So when you have je in front of words, in front of words beginning with vowel or silent H, the E will be deleted. Okay, it will be deleted and it will be replaced with apostrophe. Also, when we have Y, okay, that is pronounced E, it can also be deleted and you have apostrophe preceding it. All right, so let's go about usage of when do we use it, or why do we use it. Why do we use subject pronouns? In French, there are two ways of saying you. The words for saying you are tu and vous. So here, French and Yoruba overlap. Now, in Yoruba, when you are referring to somebody you are older than, okay, you say o, o ti lọ, o ti dé, o. But when it's an elderly person, somebody that is older than you are, you use ẹ ti dé, ẹ ti lọ. So we have a similar, the same structure, okay? We have the same structure too, or the same reality. We have the same reality in French. Tu is referred to somebody that you are older than, somebody that you can mention his or her name, okay? While vous denotes politeness, respect, or pluralization, okay? So, if you are talking to one person, such as a friend, young person, or relative, you can use you, particularly if you are older than the person, okay? But you use vous if you are talking to a person, or if you are referring to a person you do not know so well, such as your teacher, your boss, stranger, parent, or group of people. You use vous for them. For instance, you say comment allez-vous. Comment allez-vous means how are you, and that how are you could be referring to one person or many people. If it is one person, it means you are showing politeness and respect for the person. But when there are many, then it becomes pluralization. Okay? But say comment ça va. Comment ça va is for one person that you are older than. Okay? Somebody you can mention by name. So comment ça va means how are you. Comment allez-vous also means how are you. But two different scenarios, or three. Comment ça va, somebody you are older than. Comment allez-vous, one person that you respect, or many people. Okay? Also, when you use il, it can be used to talk about the weather, time, and often in some phrases it can refer to a human being. Okay? So mean that il can be personal too. Okay? When you say il pleut, you are saying it is raining. Il faut manger, you have to eat. So it there does not denote he or it. So I want you to take note of that. When talking about a masculine and a feminine noun, we use il in the plural form. that is ILS. Okay? So when you say où sont ton père et ta mère, where is your father and mother? Ils sont à la maison. They are at home. I've told you. When you have both male and female in a particular place, you use il, as the equivalent in the pronoun. You use pronoun equivalents of a masculine gender in that wise, okay? So because I told you that grammatically French believes man dominates, okay? So il and elle are used in the plural to talk about things as well as people and animals, okay? So you have est-ce qu'il reste des chocolats? Are there any chocolates left? No, ils sont tous vendus. No, they are all sold. Or you can also use on. On is frequently used in everyday French to mean we or one. On too is also impersonal. It's impersonal. So you can say on y va, shall we go? On va danser ce soir. We are going to dance this evening. On dance. Someone is dancing. So on is impersonal too. Okay? Alright, so let's go to direct object pronouns now. A direct object pronoun is a word which is used instead of the noun to stand in for the person or thing mostly affected by the action expressed by the verb. Example, I saw Caroline today. Okay, if I don't want to mention Caroline, Caroline can change to her to become I saw her today. You dropped your books. You dropped them. If I don't want to mention books again. So, you see that in French, there are words too that denote direct object pronouns. In the singular, you have mo or m with apostrophe. You have to or t with apostrophe. You have lo or l with apostrophe. You have la or l with apostrophe to denote me, you, him, it, her, it, respectively. Then in the plural, you have no, denoting us. You have vous, denoting you. You have le, denoting them for both masculine and feminine. I still want you to take note that when you have s at the final position, in most cases, you don't pronounce s. Remember that consonants at the final position of a word in French are not commonly pronounced. Okay, so don't pronounce nous as nous, or vous as vous, or le as les. Take note of that, please. All right, we move on. Now, what are the usages of direct object pronouns? The direct object pronoun usually comes before the verb. Okay? Whereas in English, your direct object pronoun will come at the final position. In French, it will be placed in between the verb and the subject rather. I take it again. Whereas in English, the object pronouns will come at the end of your sentence. In French, it will be sandwiched between the subject and the verb. Example, I am listening to you. You see, you comes at the end of that sentence. In French, it will be sandwiched, okay, between the subject and the verb. So it becomes je vous écoute. It will not be je écoute vous. Okay, it will not be je écoute vous. It will be je vous écoute. All right. Another example, she knows me very well. She knows me very well. All right. What is the direct object pronoun? Me. Very good. So in French, the me will come in between the subject and the verb. So it becomes elle me connaît bien. Elle me connaît bien. All right. I want you to note this. When given orders and instructions, the direct object pronoun comes after the verb. So, example, levez-vous, stand up. Asseyez-vous, sit down. Okay? The direct pronoun comes before the infinitive when a verb like vouloir, to want, or pouvoir, to be able to, is used. Example, est-ce que vous pouvez m'enseigner? Can you teach me? Je voudrais la voir. I would like to see her. Now, we move to indirect object pronoun. The indirect object pronoun is used instead of a noun to show the person or thing the action is intended to benefit or harm. Again, the indirect object pronoun is used instead of a noun to show the person or thing the action is intended to benefit or harm. It is important to understand the differences between direct and indirect object pronouns. Okay, number one, an indirect object answers the question who to, for or who for, okay, or for what. Okay, we need to know this. For instance, in English, they gave us a Bible. Who do they give the Bible to? Us. Another one, can you get me a towel? Who can you get a towel for? Me. So we need to know, okay, who the pronoun is intended to benefit or harm at the end of the day. So let's come to French now. We have the singular forms and we have the plural forms. The singular forms are mo or m apostrophe, to or te. Why do we have apostrophe? It's when the following word begins with a vowel. Then the e will be deleted and apostrophe will replace it. Okay, so take note of that. Mo becomes m apostrophe. To can become to with apostrophe too. Then Louis. Okay, so mo or m apostrophe is me, to me, for me. To and to apostrophe means you, to you, for you. Louis, Louis, you pronounce it the Yoruba way, Louis, the orthography, Louis, becomes him, to him, for him, to it, for her, for it. Okay? All right, then we come to the plural form. We have no. No there we mean us, to us, for us. Vous we mean you, to you, for you. Leur, I've told you wherever you see you are, pronounce it, drag your o and pronounce it elegantly. Leur, leur. So leur means them, to them, for them. In other words, no is the plural of mo. Vous is the plural of to. Leur is the plural of Louis. Okay? Now, when do we use indirect object pronoun? The indirect object pronouns are used instead of the preposition a with a noun. Je parle, example in English. I'm speaking to Ayo. Example in English. I am speaking to Ayo. In French, it's going to be je parle à Ayo. Okay? But if I underline a Ayo and I ask you to replace it with an indirect object pronoun, that Ayo becomes Louis. And I told you that object pronoun will always come before the subject and the verb. So you have to change the position of Ayo now and move it in between the subject and the verb. It's going to be Je lui parle. Je lui parle means I am speaking to him. Je lui parle means I am speaking to him. And if the person you are speaking to is a female, it's also Je lui parle. I am speaking to her. Please take note. Take note of that. Okay? All right. Now let's move to emphatic pronouns. We have talked about subject pronouns, object pronouns. Okay, their usages. We're now going to emphatic pronouns. Emphatic pronoun in French is a word used instead of a noun when making emphasis on something. It's also called stressed pronouns in French. So another word for emphatic pronoun is stressed pronouns. Now, what are the forms in French? We have the singular form and we have the plural form. The singular forms are moi, meaning I or me. Toi, meaning you. Lui, meaning he, him. Elle, meaning she, her. Then we have the impersonal one, soi, meaning oneself, yourself, ourselves. Then the plural form, nous, vous, o. E-U-S is pronounced O. Then elle, you don't pronounce the S, okay? All right, I take it again. Moi, I. Toi, you. Lui, please be pronouncing as I'm pronouncing it, okay? Lui, he or him. Elle, she or her. Then we have nous. We have vous, we have o, and we have elle. Nous means we, vous means you, o means they, and elle means they, feminine. The o is masculine, plural, and the elle is feminine, plural. Now, let's look at the usage of emphatic pronouns. It is used after a preposition. Example, come with me. In French, it becomes venez avec moi. I am thinking about you. Je pense à toi. Also, it can be used for emphasis, especially where a contrast is involved. I am happy, but you are not. Moi, je suis content, mais vous, vous n'êtes pas. Emphatic pronoun can stand on its own without a verb. I can say lui. I can say moi aussi. Moi aussi means me too. Toi aussi, you too. Elle aussi, she too. And so on and so forth. Emphatic pronouns is used after c'est and ce sont. C'est toi qui m'as frappé. It is you that slapped me. Ce sont eux. It is them. Emphatic pronoun can also be used when making comparison. He is richer than I am. Can be il est plus riche que moi. Il est plus riche que moi. She is faster than he is. Elle est plus rapide que lui. Also, I would like you to know that même in the singular or plural can be added to emphatic pronouns when you particularly want to emphasize something. I repeat, même or même in plural, that is with s, can be added to the emphatic pronouns when you particularly want to emphasize something. So I can say moi-même, myself, toi-même, yourself, lui-même, himself or itself, elle-même, herself or itself, soi-même, oneself, nous-mêmes, ourselves, vous-même, yourself, eux-mêmes, themselves, masculine, elles-mêmes, themselves, feminine. But when it is about male and female, then you refer to eux-mêmes, the masculine form. All right? Now, let us talk about possessive pronouns. The possessive pronoun is used instead of a noun to show possession. What a person has, what you possess. The indefinite pronoun is always preceded by the appropriate definite article and do not stand before the thing possessed. It agrees in number and gender with the thing possessed. Now, we have the masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural, okay? When you say, possessive pronoun, the possessive pronoun is used instead of a noun to show possession. All right? So, definite pronoun. Now, let's go to indefinite pronoun. The indefinite pronoun is always preceded by the appropriate definite article. Remember that we have talked about definite article lo, la, and le, and l apostrophe, okay? And do not stand before the thing possessed. It agrees in number and gender with the thing possessed. I take it again. The indefinite pronoun is always preceded by the appropriate definite article and do not stand before the thing possessed. It agrees in number and gender with the thing possessed. In other words, when a pronoun will be feminized, if it is singular, it will be in singular form, and if it is plural, it will be pluralized. All right? So, the masculine singular, we have le mien. The feminine becomes la mienne. Remember that we said that we can double a consonant, okay, before adding e. So this is another classic example. Le mien, la mienne. Le tien, la tienne. Le sien, la sienne. Le nôtre, la nôtre. Le vôtre, la vôtre. Le leur, la leur. And we have their plurals. Les miennes, les miennes. Les tiennes, les tiennes. Les siennes, les siennes, les nôtres, les nôtres, les vôtres, les vôtres, les leurs, les leurs. Note that S is not pronounced in all the cases. So this will always help us to remember that in most cases, last consonants are not pronounced. Now let us take a look at pronouns on and e. When you see Y in French, you pronounce it E, okay? On and E. On and e have different usage as the case may be, but they do not usually refer to people. On is used with verbs and phrases normally followed by do to avoid repeating the same word. Example, I need your car. J'ai besoin de ta voiture. J'ai besoin de ta voiture. If I don't want to mention your car again, I just said I need it because j'en ai besoin. J'en ai besoin. So on is referring to that car. If I say I want some cherries, je veux des cerises. I want them, j'en veux. Okay, so on has replaced the series. Now, when we talk about e, if I say I am going to Lagos and I don't want to mention to Lagos, I can say I am going there. So there will be e. Je vais à Lagos. J'y vais. So that e has represented Lagos. Okay? Also, we can talk about in study session 6, we have learned that in English we only have one word for you. The French has two. The first you is used only when talking to one person at a time and only if that person is a member of your family, maybe a good friend, someone about your age. While vous is used to talk to more than one person at the same time or to someone other than you are and who deserves your respect. Also, we have equally learned that they is used for both genders in English, while they of French is in three forms. ILS for exclusively males, L for exclusively female, and il for admixture of males and female. By this, we have come to the end of study session 6. I thank you for listening. See you another time. I thank you for listening. See you another time. Bye-bye. Au revoir.